Hello everyone. So how do we set up a successful PMO? I gave this presentation a few days ago at the Project Management Summit, and I wanted to share the presentation with those of you who are not able to attend. So let's get on with it. In the presentation, I talked about what's the trend as related to PMOs. Why are PMOs trending? How are they trending? What's happening in the world of Project Management Office? Talk about also the challenges that the PMOs are facing, the success elements of PMOs, how to set up a successful PMO, and what the future of PMOs looks like. The PMO stands for Project Management Office. The Project Management Office is an organizational function, if you will, a department. Just like finance, HR, IT, engineering, etc. in the organization, the PMO has a function to do. The function is usually related to leading or supporting the management of portfolios, programs, and projects. Many organizations are starting a PMO. Studies show that 75% of organizations either have a PMO, Project Management Office, in place or are planning to set up a PMO. Why is that? Organizations originally were set up to handle operations more than handle projects, and this is why they don't do well at all with projects. So the PMOs come in, we put a Project Management Office. Project Management Office will help us focus on projects, ensure that projects actually succeed. So the Project Management Office will help me align my projects with the strategy, will help me ensure my projects meet the objectives and that they actually provide value. But unfortunately, most PMOs fail, don't succeed. 75% of PMOs fail. This is a big number. Now, this failure comes within 3 years of starting the PMO, which tells you that there is something wrong with the way it is set up and how it is sustained or not sustained. Studies also show that 1/3 of PMOs that are existing today are in jeopardy of being cancelled. Furthermore, 60% of PMOs are questioned, which means that stakeholders are wondering, what is the value that I'm getting from the PMO? Why should I even have a PMO? This is not good statistics. They don't help. I mean, we're happy that companies are doing PMOs, but also we should be concerned that many PMOs are failing. So why are PMOs failing? Misalignment, focusing only on tools, and lack of governance. Misalignment means we have an organization that is saying strategically, we want our PMO to do 1, 2, 3 for us. PMO gets in and starts getting entangled into daily operations and tactical work. Misalignment happens between what we originally wrote the PMO to do and the tactical work that the PMO is doing on the ground. When time comes for reviews, upper management is not happy. They're saying, where is the value? You're showing us tactical work. Where is the value? And another reason for misalignment is that we have stakeholders with wrong expectations. Stakeholders are expecting different things from the PMO. So the marketing department wants one thing, the CEO wants another thing, operations want a third thing. Each department has different expectations, and there is no way the PMO can be everything for everybody. PMO needs to focus, but with pressure from different stakeholders, pushing the PMO in different directions ends up causing misalignment. Focusing only on tools. You can see this everywhere, where the first thing the PMO, the organization that wants to set up a PMO, is asking, which tool should I use? I believe the tool is important, but it's not the only element. We have the people aspect, the organizational change management aspect. We have the processes aspect. We have how do we phase the implementation so it succeeds. So this cannot be a tool issue. We have to be careful when thinking about what are the elements needed for a PMO. It's not only tool. So focusing on the tool, we will end up setting up a tool, getting a company that will set up the tool for me, even customize the features. But then when it comes to implementation, nobody's using it. So failure comes. Third reason is lack of governance. Lack of governance means that even though we say we empower the PMO, we give it authority, but when you look formally You don't see clear governance, no clear reporting relationships, no clear responsibilities documented. If it's not documented, it does not exist. So the governance needed, first of all, the PMO needs a sponsoring body to support it, preferably not just one person. It has to be a committee, preferably from across the organization, so that the PMO gets the support needed regardless of the department they need the support from, to ensure alignment of the whole organization with the PMO. Another thing, we don't need only governance at the upper level, where we have the reporting relationships, where we clearly put a steering committee, for example, for the PMO. We need also operational steering committees. Not necessarily steering committees, but operational committees that help us get into the organization and get work done. So some companies just do a steering committee at a high level. No, I prefer to see also committees at the operational level. Without governance, without support, without sponsorship from across the organization, without clear reporting relationships, wrong expectations, mistakes, misalignment, and failure. So these are the main reasons for failure. Now we can look at how to set up a successful PMO. Setting up a successful PMO starts with understanding what do we need to make the PMO a sustainable function. We need to pay attention to the context in which we are setting up the PMO, which means we need to look at the stakeholders. Who are the key stakeholders? What are the processes that we want the PMO to do? What technology? And usually technology is not the issue. And how will we ensure that our PMO sustain? Unfortunately, these questions are asked informally in an ad hoc fashion, and the answers are never documented. They are never gathered from the right stakeholders, and they are never communicated, and no feedback is usually asked. So you cannot sustain a PMO without these clear answers. Also, when we look at the PMO, we need to know that the PMO is not a department that can sit alone. The PMO has to work with the whole organization. So we need to look around us. We need to understand the relationship between the PMO and the strategy of the organization. The governance, as we said earlier, we need skilled resources. We need the technology, we need methodology, we need leadership, we need executive sponsorship. We need to understand the culture of the organization and the culture in general. We need to understand the maturity of the organization and know who are the stakeholders, key stakeholders. So we need to understand the environment before we can really do a proper, successful PMO.